Ladies and gentlemen, we have been listening about how to develop values within ourselves. But if those values do not have positivity in them, then they are of no use. I am privileged to welcome a guiding force in positivity and inner transformation, Mr. Kamlesh Patel, fondly known as Daaji. As the global guide of heartfulness and president of Sri Ramchandra Mission, he seamlessly blends science with spirituality. Welcome, sir. Through Kanha Shanti Vanam, the world's largest meditation center, he continues to inspire millions on the path of inner peace and holistic well-being. He has been named Global Ambassador of Peace Building and Faith to the Commonwealth and has been conferred with Padma Bhushan also. Please put your hands together for a louder applause for Daaji. In order to talk about his positive force and the inner transformation values, the session will be well conversed with our Dr. Hasmukh Adia sir. We welcome you to have a conversation with Daaji so that people present here can get the maximum out of it. Welcome, sir. And over to you.
I had the pleasure of visiting their international headquarters, which is in Kanha, Santivan in Hyderabad, 40 kilometers from Hyderabad. It's a beautiful campus made in 1,400 acres of land, very green, very sustainable. All the effort for water conservation is made, and a lot of research is being done on new agriculture crops there. So, and there is a meditation hall, which is a sight to see. It's a meditation hall in which at a time 100,000 people can sit and meditate. So that kind of a hall they've created. And as you know, recently, about 2 years ago, the government has also awarded him Padma Bhushan for all his activity. Now, meditation is an important subject, Daaji. And first of all, I'll only ask few questions because I believe we have to spend some time for meditation and you're going to make us do meditation. So that is the most important thing.
Yes, sir.
Can you just tell us in brief, not much, I don't think I should expect you to reveal your entire life story, but in brief, how did you think of full-time switching into meditation and how did it happen?
Well, thank you, Hasmukh Bhai. Thank you for inviting Sri Ramchandra Mission to present the finest of methods that one can adopt in modern days and find it so soothing in this VUCA world, as you know what VUCA stands for. I was fortunate enough to start this practice 1976. I used to meditate now and then in our hostel. And one of my friends, he would watch me meditate. And he says, Kamlesh, you are jittery. You don't know how to meditate. I said, please, what's the solution? He said, come, I'll take you to one lady. She was a trainer of the Sri Ramchandra Mission. So gladly I went there. It was a fine Sunday morning. She explained to me how to meditate with pranahuti. She transmitted to me the essence of what transports us from the lower level of awareness, consciousness, to a state of super consciousness. And that was my beginning. See, and in the very first session, I was zapped. You know, sometimes you are so lost, absorbed in meditation. But I was so absorbed that I did not even know that I was absorbed. I was completely gone. I was not present there. And slowly, as the awareness became more relevant, it slowly peeped in. And as it peeps in, and I became more aware, I could see the hands of Ramakrishna Paramahansa in utter joy, in blessing mode. So I felt, yes, I was really, really transported to a very ecstatic state after that. I felt very deeply that I did find my master, my guru, and I must follow. And since then, I have never looked back. And it has become part of my life. Morning, evening. People say, why meditate? But you see, unless you meditate, you cannot become meditative, cool, as they say. You have to become cool, quiet, composed. So, as we train our mind to become meditative by 20 minutes of meditation in the morning, that meditative state of mind percolates throughout our daily activities. Also, when we meditate, many things come across our mind as a guiding force, like what to do, what not to do, especially comes up. Today's program, for example, what should I be doing in the business world? What should I be doing today? Whom should I meet? Whom should I avoid? So you can avoid many unnecessary things during meditation. You can plan out your day, day after day. It continues. In the evening, we have a very special process of meditation that removes the emotional baggage, stress that we accumulate knowingly or unknowingly. Bedtime, we offer prayer and sleep as if you are sleeping in the lap of God. So your sleep also, I think the nature of sleep changes altogether. It becomes, people hanker after yoga nindra, and it just happens automatically right from the first day of starting this practice. Religion, if I may extend, is all about dogmas and beliefs, and it's a whitewash. I believe in such and such a God, it's a whitewash. But if you experience it, then you don't have to say, I believe. I know so. I have seen him. I have experienced his presence. It's like you are seeing Sir Adya Sir. You're seeing the suns. You are seeing the moon, seeing the stars and the trees and the traffic of Delhi. You don't have to believe such a traffic. You know it is chaotic. Likewise, you don't have to believe in God because you know so He is there through your own experience. So, religion is a very low level, it's a beginning. We have to let go of that dogma, belief system, and try to experience. That is the field of spirituality. And then journey further continues. You may ask, what is beyond experience? Much more awaits us. If I give you a small example, if your friend invites you to his home or her home and say, come stay with me for 3 months, and there's a great, very rich hospitality, you'll feel very happy and say, wow, what a friend I have. But deep down in your heart, what would you feel? I'm enjoying this rich hospitality, but I wish I was also as rich. So, divine experiences can be great, but to become divine is altogether a different matter. So, experiences are like carrots sown to a donkey. Otherwise, who would meditate if you did not have a good experience in meditation? No one would meditate. So, it's a carrot, and we have to follow that carrot if you want to become the divine personality. And it is possible. There is further also. It's a state of being, and that too ends. How to describe that ultimate phenomena? Impossible. That's why, positively speaking, Vedas and Upanishads ends up being negative in the end. You know what their negative statements are? Neti, 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 meaning not this, not this, not this. They're trying to say the ultimate state is such that nothing in this world that exists can be comparable. So there are no words to describe the ultimate state. If the raindrops fall in the ocean, there is no raindrop left behind to say, I have become the ocean. And if the raindrops keep speaking that I have become the ocean, is yet to become ocean. So a realized person will never say that I have realized. So this is one sign of identifying a right person to guide you.
Thank you very much. Another
Thank you.
question is that you have so much to manage because now you're the head of a mission. There are so many ashrams, so many properties all around, and so many followers to guide. Do you feel the burden of it? And if you don't feel the burden, what is the reason for that?
I don't feel burdened by any responsibility because we share the responsibility, duties of day to day affairs. It starts with trust. What wrong can happen anyway? They'll buy some extra chairs for meditation, or they build 2, 3 extra rooms for meditation. So we have to let go of such nonsense and just be on the focus, what matters the most. As they say, "Ye to chalta rahega," it's only money. Stress comes because of money. And if you come out of that picture altogether and be freed from it, you are at peace. The anxiety of losing things makes one worry. And what are you going to lose anyway? Few coins.
So thank you for that. Daji, there is a advice which every young man and woman is listening to today.
Mhm.
And that advice is that if you want success in life, meditation is a must. But I always find that many of them are still groping in dark and they don't know what exactly is meditation and how to do it. So two things. One is that everybody knows sitting in silence, but after that what happens and how do you stick to it and how do you maintain your routine
That
and
was
how
me in
yeah
1976. Sit
ye-
in silence and still remain disturbed.
yes, so how do you actually do meditation and what's your advice to these young men and women about meditation, how many times in a day they should do and how should they begin and how should they persist?
Unfortunately, this word meditation is loosely or badly translated from English into English from a Sanskrit word dhyan. It doesn't really explain the true meaning of dhyan. Meditation, as defined by dictionaries, Oxford, is focusing your mind for considerable period of time. When we meditate on divinity, it's an unknown entity. So how in the world are you going to focus on unknown? So it falls flat there. Dhyan, as per Sanskrit, if you split the sandhi, it is di plus yan. Di, you will find these two letters from Sanskrit many a times in many of our so slokas, and especially in Gayatri Mantra. You recall? Dhimahi Diyo Yonah Prachodaya. What is this Di? Anyone?
Intellect.
Sir. Pragya, ultimate wisdom. And Yan means a vehicle. So vehicle that transports our awareness, our consciousness to the ultimate wisdom is Dhyan. Now we are using the vehicle of consciousness to transport us to that ultimate wisdom. What is it that's going to fuel that vehicle, that very process of meditation? It is pranahuti, transmission. Without external input, our limited and available consciousness cannot fly high in the sky of superconsciousness. As well, it cannot dive into the oceans of subconsciousness. In the morning, you have heard our Honorable Prime Minister speaking, quoting Swami Vivekananda. I like to also quote Swami Vivekananda. He used to say, the only purpose of our life is to allow this available consciousness that we all have and widen it, broaden it, allow it to touch the sky of superconsciousness and let it dive into the oceans of subconscious. So, this is how you widen, as we call today, broadband exchange, So, with that consciousness, we have to pursue. And that is possible through meditation. As we evolve, consciousness must evolve. And as consciousness evolves, things that supports consciousness also evolves. For example, what supports consciousness is manas, buddhi, and ahankar. So as consciousness evolves, manas, buddhi, and ahankar, as they evolve, their functions also change. Like manas, our mind, as it evolves, its function of thinking will also change into thinking, from thinking to feelings. At the pinnacle of evolution of our consciousness, mind becomes redundant. It simply sinks into the heart and heart takes over. Likewise, the other elements, buddhi and ahankar also, they change, they evolve from intellect to intelligence to wisdom to intuition. And ego from me and mine to thee and thine. See, a total state of saranagati would arrive. Now, for a younger mind to understand all this, you have to be serious about such things. Otherwise, you should keep enjoying your life, keep giggling and laughing, and don't waste other person's time also. If you are serious about meditation and spirituality, you have to go all out for it. Little thing will not do. I share with you one small anecdote I had with my Guruji in Shahjahanpur. It was winter like this. And Shahjahanpur, you get a bitter cold, worse than Delhi cold. We were only two of us there. He called me, Bete, come here. So I approached him, sit near his chair. He, with his nail, he drew a line on his palm, on his upper palm, on his wrist. And he says, Dekho, this is a water canal. I said, yes, Babuji. Then he drew another. I said, 50% power is reduced. Do you understand? I said, no, Babuji. Then he drew third line. Now power is reduced further. Do you understand now? I say, yes, sir. So creating multiple channels in our mind with our attention, all our efforts will dwindle. They will be diluted. It's like, your phone. You have multiple applications going on at the same time. Imagine the speed at which it will discharge. Our mind too has some limitations. We have to make use of it wisely. Mind is not our enemy. Mind can be our best friend as well. Once we begin to train, the cooperation starts. And we have to hand over the functions of the mind to the heart to perceive things without dissecting things from mental levels. See, on an evolutionary scale, please don't mind me if I say that women don't have brains. There is a reason, because they have a bigger heart. They don't need this. I I can strongly say this because whenever I had problems in my family life, in the business world, you would keep worrying about it for months together, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. But the first person to recognize your face that is under stress is either your mother, your wife, or your sister. And moment you begin to share the problem, the issues that you have in the business world, they'll come up with a solution in less than a minute. And you keep wondering how in the world they know this. So it is the heart that gives you the signals. A leader in the society, once the heart begins to get purified through meditation, it begins to give you right signals. If I may ask you, can you get up? Sister, my daughter, yeah. Okay. What is your name? So, suppose you say, my name is Mamta. What will happen to your heart? Oh, I'm lying to Daaji. No, your heart will beat faster. The day you reach home very, very late, let's say you go at 1 o'clock at night, and your papa asks, where were you, Shruti? You say, oh, papa, I was doing some extra homework with my friend, and which you are not actually doing it. What will happen to your heart at that moment? It beats faster. So heart always gives the signal whenever unnatural things happens to us. When my eyes are seeing well and my ears are able to listen properly, my heart doesn't congratulate me. But moment something goes wrong, it gives me the signal, time to go to doctor. And I like to caution you also, whenever you're able to get engaged, follow your heart. Don't follow those, Mercedes lines and these diamond lines. That will really make you unhappy. Follow your heart. If your heart says, this is not the person for me, deny it. Similar, there are many situations, critical decisions that you make as leaders, where everything can go against you, but your heart says, I must stick to this. You need courage, you need guts, and heart will provide you. Because heart was the one in the first place who gave you the signal to do what is right, that will also provide the courage. So, benefits of meditations are too many actually. I will end this particular question by quoting Lord Krishna. In one of the slokas, especially Adhyay number 2, he says, who doesn't want to be happy? Questions Arjun. And he answers, everyone. Then he questions again, can you be happy if you are restless? It can't be. He says you need harmony within. How are you going to have harmony within? Then he answers, by contemplative mind. How are you going to have a contemplative mind? He says, the focused mind. And how are you going to have a focused mind? It says meditation. Now connect the dots. It's directly linked. And if you study many researches which are being done on the effect of meditation on certain neurotransmitters like dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and also what happens when you are stressed and full of anxiety, what sort of neurotransmitters gets elevated in the blood? Cortisols, adrenaline, norepinephrine. Whenever you meditate, take it for granted, especially with heartfulness, you will enter the delta wave. You will enter, even if it is your first session, you will have a delta wave in the EEG graph, electroencephalograph. We have done a lot of comparative studies that puts the light on various practices, but no other system comes closer to a practicant in bringing their mind, their consciousness to a delta wave. Those of you who are not familiar with yoga and delta wave, this delta wave during meditation is called Turiya state of consciousness. Turiya state, nothing but a fourth level of consciousness. Those of you who are science students will know what is the first level of consciousness, what is the second level, and what's the third level. When we are interacting like this, we are aware and interacting. Just when you're asleep. But the amount of relaxation that you find within yourself, but akin to as if you are sleeping, yet aware, that is Turiya state. So scientifically also, if you look at this, it's all win-win situation for any meditator, whether you believe in God or you don't believe in God, whether you believe in Krishna or Allah or Jesus Christ, it really does not matter whom you believe. These are all entities passed on by our ancestors. Believe in this, and we begin to believe. Sir.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry we couldn't take any question from the audience because we wanted to spend some time for meditation. So thank you very much. As a token of our appreciation, please give you a moment.
Hello. Yeah. Kindly remain seated for just 2 minutes for now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Hasmukh sir, and thank you once more, Daaji, for that wonderful experience. Thank you.